What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TheSlamDuncan YouTube channel. Just a warning, I am not very happy right now. This is going to be a video of me just showing you how much the Bulls suck tonight against the New York Knicks. I don't think the score does its justice to show you how bad the Bulls played. So let's get into this. Bulls lost 107-103 to the New York Knicks, the team that they just beat Monday at home, and we were home again tonight. A couple of things that jump out to me immediately was that the Bulls did not really turn the ball over that much. And we still did a horrible job of protecting the paint, even with all the turnovers, or with the lack of turnovers. The Bulls shot pretty okay overall, but we couldn't hit a damn three to save our lives today. We were out-rebounded by 9, but I would say that we were more out-rebounded by 15, as that was kind of the margin it was all game. Yeah, overall, just a horrible performance by the Bulls. The Knicks had 17 turnovers. We didn't take advantage of that. I'm not happy. I have to say that I was very disappointed with the Bulls tonight. I thought that the Bulls would learn from the previous game, and I could, you can go watch the video that I posted on Tuesday about that, what I thought the Bulls could learn from the game on Monday, because they were facing the same opponent again today. But it drives me insane with this team, because I'm at the point right now where we're 20 games in a 72-game season, and I'm already starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, there's going to be some major changes to this team that, and I mean not just like a couple of players here and there, there's going to be some major changes to this team. And some guys that are supposed to be developing are just not developing at all. And I don't really think it's on the coaches, because the coaches are putting them in situations to be successful, but they're just not taking advantage of these situations. So, just overall horrible game. The Knicks did a good job tonight. I'm really mucking up the game, making it a defensive battle, slowing down the pace. Bulls didn't really have that many fast break opportunities at all. And the Bulls got destroyed in the paint. Absolutely destroyed in the paint. And that goes on every single player for their terrible defense tonight. Not just the bigs, but every single player. And again, I'm going to say it one more time to all you people that hate Wendell Carter Jr. You all said that the paint defense is horrible because Wendell was bad. Well, Wendell's out, and look, it's even worse with Wendell out. So clearly the Bulls need a center right now that can actually guard the paint. But I'm going to talk about some of the individual performances in this game, because it's really important to do so. First, I'm going to talk about Zach LaVine, who I don't think had that good of a night at all. But I do think he was the best player for the Bulls, but that just shows you how bad every single Bulls player played tonight. No one hit their threes, no one's playing defense, everyone's god-awful, except for Thaddeus Young and Zach LaVine. I think those two guys played at an average rate. I think LaVine's defense was awful tonight. I think it was awful the previous game as well. LaVine clearly did not have his three tonight, and I do give him credit for attacking when his teammates wouldn't attack and his teammates couldn't score. So I give him credit for that. I do give him credit for the lack of turnovers, and he had 7 assists somehow. I don't even know how he had 7 assists, because his teammates just were not hitting shots. But I do think with Zach that he had 2 shots that I was not very happy with. One was in the third quarter. It was a very long 3, and then obviously I think everyone hates the shot that he took when the Bulls were down 5 with about 50 seconds left or so. That was a terrible 3 as well. But I must say that I'm not exactly very upset with Zach LaVine's shot selection tonight. A lot of people were, including Casey Johnson. But I think I'm more upset with Zach LaVine due to I just thought he was trying to do too much tonight. I thought there was too many times where the Bulls would run a pick and roll. He would get the switch, but then he was so worried about trying to collapse the defense. He was dribbling too much, which then led to a bad shot, usually by him, or it was led to a really bad shot overall, or the Bulls just didn't get up a shot. But I think a lot of his shots that he did take tonight were just because the offense was not doing anything, and he could have, been trying to create something, and then he'll create something, but then his teammate didn't take the shot that he created. So then all of a sudden it's a bailout situation. So they'll throw him the ball with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and he'll take some crazy shot because he has to. So I'm not exactly upset with LaVine's shot selection. I just think LaVine was trying to do too much out there, but he had 7 assists. I thought he created a bunch of open looks in the early quarters, in the first quarter and the second quarter. But his teammates just were not knocking it down, or were just too afraid to take the shot for some odd reason. But I don't give LaVine a pass, because I thought he didn't play very well today. I think Thaddeus Young overall played okay. I know he shot 9 of them from the field, and he was definitely a spark, but I do think he made a bunch of mistakes as well, including some turnovers. But he was clearly, I think, the best player off the bench. I give credit to Denzel and Patrick Williams for their little run they made in the fourth quarter, but I would have rather have had the Bulls lose by 20 tonight because I think that would have sent a bigger message to this team saying that, hey, you need to play better. Just because you played bad doesn't mean you're going to be in the game. Like, they played bad and they were somehow still in the game, which I don't want the Bulls to start thinking, oh, that's okay. But now I'm going to get to the horrible performances, and I really want to point out some guys here. Kobe White, I thought, played horribly, especially early game. He hit some shots later in the game, but early on, he was getting some wide open looks and was not hitting them, and he just did not feel comfortable at all dribbling the ball today, and that's due to Tom Thibodeau. But it also just shows with Kobe that I don't know if he can really be a ball handler for this team in the near future. Daniel Gafford, I thought, also played extremely horrible today. I know he doesn't play that many minutes, and he's supposed to be a bench guy, but he was just getting eaten up by Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle today. I thought Garrett Temple was awful today. He was shooting a lot of threes that were just not in rhythm, not in the flow of the offense, and his defense that he usually brings just wasn't there. So there's that as well. And then most notably, and I'm going to really focus on Markkanen again in this video, but Lauri Markkanen was, I would say, the worst player for the Bulls on both ends of the court tonight. And I don't even think it's even an argument at this point. Markkanen was an absolute no-show today. The fact that he even has 9 points is surprising to me. This dude, I am just so upset with Markkanen right now because you're going against the same team that you just put up 31 against, right? So why not try to go back to the things that got you those 31 points, which was be a paint presence, use your length, use your size, use your height to score in the paint, because this Knicks defense isn't that amazing in the paint, especially when Mitchell Robinson's out of the game. And you took advantage of that. You were able to score over Julius Randle last game, and anybody that guarded you, especially Obi Toppin that was guarding you, were able to score over him. But this game, you decided, I'm not going to be that much of a scorer. I don't even want the ball. Like, I swear to God, Markkanen sometimes doesn't even want the ball. And I am so upset with him right now. And I think, at this moment, I think the front office is starting to see that if Lauri Markkanen is not scoring, he doesn't bring anything else to this to the table for the Bulls. I think Lauri Markkanen is strictly just a scorer and does nothing else. He clearly cannot rebound. He was getting destroyed on the glass all night, as the entire Bulls team was too. But he was a major problem because Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Obi Toppin, Nerlens Noel were all just shoving Markkanen out of the way for offensive rebounds. And there was even a rebound off of a missed free throw, and Markkanen clearly had the position advantage, and Mitchell Robinson still got it over him. And then at the end of the game, when the Bulls were trying to make their comeback, there was a missed shot by the Knicks that was literally falling into Markkanen's face, and he still somehow didn't get that rebound. Mitchell Robinson got it over him, even though Mitchell Robinson was behind him. So Markkanen, if he's not scoring, he doesn't bring anything else to the table, it looks like. He can't create really that much for himself, and he can't create for others, and he looks scared if for some odd reason if he just doesn't have his three-point shot going. He looks scared to do anything else. This dude, we saw him dunk on a fast break opportunity. We saw him take some easy layups, but for some odd reason, he doesn't want to do that even when he can't hit a three that game. It just drives me insane. I am very upset with Lauri Markkanen. I'm going to show you some things right now. For example, the Bulls' first bucket of the game, and the first bucket of the entire game, was this play right here. And I was like, oh, this is probably good for Markkanen. So it looks like Lauri's going to have a decent game. Pick and roll, right? And instead of Markkanen fading here, which would end up into nothing, he decided, okay, I'm going to roll. The Knicks decided to switch. Now I got Elfrid Payton, who's only like 6'3" on me now. I'm a 7'1" big man. And he said, okay, this is easy layup, right? Easy layup. And I'm like, good. This is exactly what you should be doing at the start of the game. You should be going at the paint right now because the Knicks don't have the best interior defense at the moment, especially with Julius Randle being the power forward. And if you have a smaller guy on you, take advantage of that. Now, here's the thing. We didn't see Markkanen do that for the rest of the quarter, nor did we. I don't think we really even saw him do that until like the third quarter, where he actually went into the paint again and got a layup or a dunk. He had a whopping 9 points and 4 rebounds today, and I'm legit just so upset with Markkanen at this moment right now. And I was tweeting out throughout the game that we saw that Julius Randle was destroying Markkanen on the other end, and I was saying like Julius Randle when he started the game, he started out hot, and I was like, oh my God, Julius Randle is going crazy right now. But if before Julius Randle started taking those threes, you saw that Randle was going into the post. He was trying to get inside. He was establishing himself as a paint presence before he extended his range to the three-point line. He didn't take a three until the end of the first quarter, right? And then he made three straight. So it's like, in my head, I'm like, hey, Markkanen, you're a 7'1" big man who's taller than Randle and should be stronger than Randle, but clearly isn't. You should be establishing yourself in the paint first, doing the exact same thing that Randle just did to you, and then extend to the three-point line. Don't worry about your three-point shot until you get inside first. And Markkanen got some free throw opportunities today, which was good to see, but I need more of that. I need you to establish yourself inside the paint before you even start thinking about shooting a three-point shot. So I was very upset with Markkanen tonight, and I'm livid with how he's playing. And I know I mentioned earlier, hey, the Bulls might have some big changes coming, and this dude right here, who is just absolutely so inconsistent, could be on the move. And we may not even get to trade him, and he'll be off this team. I'm going to show you some other things that the Bulls I thought did horribly tonight. Right here, I was screaming at the TV when I saw this play being drawn up. And this is, again, early game, so as you can see, Randle right now is not even thinking about shooting a three. He's thinking about, I'm going to post up here and get an easy layup or get a foul. And I don't know what Markkanen's doing right now. This shows me automatically, and this is Markkanen's man that he has to guard, that he did not read the scouting report. Julius Randle is left-handed, and he is much better going to his left hand and finishes stronger with his left hand than if he's going to his right. I think Randle has developed really nicely with his right hand, but his left hand is still the strongest. Look what happens. Oh, okay. And I don't know what Markkanen's doing because Randle started here. Now he's in the paint. That was too easy. Now it's a simple back down, and Randle's 6 feet away from the rim. And it's like, okay, you could double team me, but that doesn't matter because I'm already too far in. I've already drawn so much attention that now it's too easy for me. I can make a simple pass to Mitchell Robinson right there for an easy dunk. Horrible defense from Markkanen. Shows that the Bulls, and strictly Markkanen, did not read the scouting report. And this type of stuff was happening all game. It was easy paint points. Here's a play that Will Perdue was talking about up on the post-game show. But right here, I don't know what's happening here. Kobe White, first off, gets picked. But my main thing is, Will Perdue is like, Patrick Williams, you got to be in position to help here. To me, this should just be a switch. I don't know why the Bulls don't switch this, but this is on Patrick Williams. I know he's a rookie, but he needs to be communicating with Kobe White. First off, that there's a screen coming, but secondly, what is he going to do with this? Patrick Williams needs to yell out to Kobe, hey, you switch this, hey, go over, hey, go under, anything. Just call out to the person who is guarding the man with the ball. You need to be there. Now, once quickly gets past here, now it's like, okay, what's happening here? First off, I don't really like that Zach has to come over this far. He should have been here because of the fact that there was no help, but initially, as you watch this play develop again, I would actually argue that this is on Markkanen and Gafford here, because I don't know what these two are doing, but whoever is guarding Mitchell Robinson, which I think is Markkanen in this possession, I don't know why you're up here. Like, you shouldn't be this far up. Mitchell Robinson can't shoot outside the paint. Why are you up here? Again, you did not read the scouting report. So why are you so far up? I think you should be helping right now. But because you didn't help, now it falls on LaVine. And LaVine does a horrible job here. And he doesn't really contest this shot at all. And it's an easy layup for, I guess that's Payne or I don't know who it is. But and whoever that is, it's an easy layup for the next guard. Now, again, another just terrible play here. I don't understand what's happening. Kobe White, I am so confused at what he's trying to do sometimes. This dude can't get picked off this easily. I'm so lost with him because I don't know what the Bulls defense is supposed to be, but when I see stuff like this right here, where he just doesn't seem to be able to read what's happening, and you could be like, well, it's an offensive foul, but I don't really think this is an offensive foul at all. I think Kobe White, either way, shouldn't be doing this right here. He needs to understand he can't get in this type of situation. Now, you got Payton with Kobe White way back on his heels, and Kobe White's giving up all this space into the paint. Markkanen's absolutely no help here either. They both go for the pump fake, and then this is an easy little floater for Payton. Just stuff like that right there is what was the epitome of this game. It was the Bulls were getting destroyed in the interior all night. And it wasn't just a pick and roll. It was just, in general, back cuts. It was guys blowing right by their own defender with no screen helping. It was an absolute Horrible show from the Chicago Bulls, and I am livid right now with how bad this team played. I don't really have much else to say, except for just I think it's getting to the point right now where it's like, hey, if you don't step it up and show this front office who has only put faith into one person right now, which is Patrick Williams, then you need to really start stepping up and showing that you can bring more than just scoring to this team, right? And this really falls on like these three guys right here, and LaVine, Markkanen, and White. It's like you got to show me that you're more valuable than just a plain old scorer. Like at least with LaVine, for example, I saw with LaVine tonight that he was able to adjust to a different defense being thrown at him. Because if you remember last game, the Knicks were basically double teaming him off of every single pick and roll. In this game, though, they were switching the pick and roll, but then they would pre-rotate to make sure that LaVine couldn't drive at all or take the man who's now a mismatch, who's guarding him, right off the dribble into the paint. They were really making sure. So it was kind of similar to a double team, but the action was usually helping the Bulls, where it was a double team into LaVine off the pick and roll, and then he'll throw it to Thaddeus Young. That wasn't there today. So LaVine adjusted, though, and was still able to put up 24 and 7, right? Lauri Markkanen, on the other hand, I don't think they adjusted to him at all. They were not really that scared of him, and to be honest, I think the Knicks were willing to let him shoot the three ball. I don't think they adjusted to him at all, and he only put up 9 points tonight, and wasn't going back to what was working before. It drives me insane. Coby White, I think he has just been awful defensively, and yeah, he scored 13, but he was missing open shots. He was missing catch and shoot opportunities. It was just bad for Coby White as well. So the one person that has shown me that they're not just a scorer and can only bring scoring to the team, right? He's not just going to be strictly labeled as a scorer, is Zach LaVine. He's shown me that not only can he score, but he can also play, make, and adjust very effectively on the fly and still be able to put up his numbers and help this team create shots for others, even if the defense changes on him in the middle of the game, right? But for Markkanen and Coby White right now, if these two guys just aren't scoring, then I just think that they're absolutely useless and they don't bring anything else to the table. This is the problem right now, and especially right now, White and Markkanen, I think, are the guys most under fire, because if they don't show that they can do something else, then I don't think Karnisovas is going to want them on this team. Because if you think about it, the Denver Nuggets, they have all these guys, right, that Karnisovas built up, that they can do all these things. If Jokic isn't scoring, then he's a passer, he's a rebounder, he's an actual pretty decent rim protector, right? So for these other guys, you got to have the same mindset that if I can't score right now, I need to affect the game in other ways. Billy Donovan just said it in the press conference tonight, and I hope he continues to say it to his players, because I'm not happy right now. This Bulls team struggled to score from the three-point line, but there are other ways to score in the game. You can drive to the rim. That's allowed, right? So, bad game from the Bulls. Horrible performance by Markkanen. I'm very livid with Markkanen right now. I hope he comes out on Friday against the Magic and proves me wrong here, because everyone was going and saying, like, oh, Markkanen's back. He's back to being himself right now after the 31-point game against on Monday. But then he drops this against the same team that he just put up 31 against 2 days before. And I'm like, what happened? Why can't you bring the same mentality that you just brought on Monday to now this game? That's concerning to me, and he better switch up something, or else I want him off this team. And Coby White needs to start figuring out too, because if he can't get over a screen, then I don't want him on this team either. So I apologize for me being upset, but this is, overall a horrible game. Hope you guys just learned something for this video, or just understand that how bad this Bulls team performed, even though the score was pretty close. Comment down below, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.